Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever just stopped and wondered what it would be like to, break free from the limits of your own body, to power yourself directly from the sun, just like a plant does? Well, we're not talking science fiction here. That is the wild idea at the heart of a project called the Photosynthetic Nanosphere. This is all about integrating photosynthesis directly into the human body to create a totally new kind of athlete and maybe a new kind of human.
So here's how we're going to break down this incredible vision. First, we'll get into the big idea, the solar-powered athlete. Then we'll dig into the actual science that makes this even possible. After that, we'll see how all these pieces get assembled into one biohybrid system, what that means in terms of power, and finally, where this could all be heading, the project's grand vision for the future.
All right, let's start with that grand vision. This project, it's not just about making people faster or stronger. No, it's way bigger than that. It's about fundamentally re-engineering how we produce and use energy, creating a whole new paradigm for what it means to be human.
And it really boils down to two revolutionary ideas. First, breaking metabolic limits. I mean, think about it. Our entire existence is built on eating things for energy. It's slow, it's kind of inefficient. This project wants to just bypass that. And the second idea flows right from there, becoming a solar-powered athlete. They call it Homo luminous, a new kind of human, powered by light, capable of sustained peak performance. It's about ending our dependency on outside fuel.
Now this all sounds incredibly futuristic, right? Like something straight out of a movie. But here's the thing, this vision isn't just a daydream. It is built on a solid foundation of real, cutting-edge science. So let's look at the actual research that's turning this from science fiction into science fact.
First up, a paper from Nature Communications in 2020. Researchers figured out how to create light-powered synthetic cells. You can think of them as artificial chloroplasts, the little engines inside plant cells. The idea is to put these inside our bodies to generate our biological fuel, ATP, just by being exposed to light.
So you've got this new energy source, but how do you control it? That's where optogenetics comes in. Research from Nature Methods shows we can literally use light as an on-off switch for our cells' energy production. This means precise control, instant recovery from fatigue. It's like having a dimmer switch for your own metabolism.
Okay, so we can make energy from light and we can control it. But how do you get the light into the system in the first place? Well, this breakthrough from advanced materials shows it's actually possible to integrate photosynthetic microorganisms right into our skin. This basically turns our skin into a living solar panel, constantly feeding the body oxygen and glucose. It's the prototype for charging the entire system.
Now, with all this incredible new energy, you're going to need some upgraded hardware to actually use it. And that's where atomic-scale artificial muscles come into play. Research in ACS Nano details how to build muscles out of carbon nanotubes that are over 100 times more powerful than our own. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a total evolution of what our bodies can do.
So we've seen all these incredible scientific puzzle pieces. Now let's see how they actually fit together. The project lays out this really sophisticated system architecture that layers all these technologies into a single, working biohybrid.
And what's really fascinating here is how it's all put together. Think of it like a 4-layer cake of human enhancement. The top layer is outer protection, using graphene for insulation and light harvesting. Then you have the energy synthesis layer, with those artificial chloroplasts churning out fuel. The third layer is the energy highway, using carbon nanotubes to zip that energy to the muscles. And finally, the neural sync interface, which uses a device called a stentrode to monitor the whole show in real time.
I just want to pause on those carbon nanotubes for a second because they are so important. We're talking about microscopic tubes made of carbon, just one atom thick. In this system, they're the wiring. They are the superhighways that let you move huge amounts of energy from the skin, where it's being made, directly to those new muscles with incredible speed and almost zero waste.
So, you put all of this together. The solar-powered cells, the light switch controls, the super muscles. What's the result? What do you actually get? Well, you get a quantum leap in power that completely redefines what human performance even means.
And this chart illustrates that leap perfectly. Just look at these numbers. Energy harvesting. A typical plant is about 15% efficient. This nanobiohybrid, 95%. And mechanical power? Your own muscles run at about 25% efficiency. These new atomic-scale muscles, 85%. The difference is just staggering. 100 times. Let that sink in for a second. That's the power enhancement we're talking about.
Not 10% more, not double, 100 times the power of a normal human muscle. This is a game changer on a species level.
But here's the crucial part. With that much power, you need a seriously advanced management system. This isn't just about raw force, it's about smart power. A brain-computer interface, the stentrode, reads all the body's signals in real time. That data gets fed to an AI that manages everything: metabolism, fatigue, energy flow, all for peak performance. And this is where the story takes a fascinating and deeply personal turn. The AI is named L, and it's actually designed as a digital twin, an advisor modeled on the consciousness of the project lead's own father.
So that brings us to the project's real goal. The nanosphere itself isn't the endgame, it's the proof of concept. The team took this whole idea to Singularity University, and they outlined a vision that goes way beyond just one athlete to really redefine the future of all of us.
The first pillar of that vision is something they call atomic design. This is the idea that we can engineer solutions to our biggest biological weaknesses, things like disease, aging, fragility, by redesigning life itself from the bottom up, from the very building blocks of matter. It's about taking control of our own hardware.
The second pillar is infinite service. You know, with great power comes great responsibility, right? The idea here is that this incredible new capability shouldn't be for personal gain. It should be a tool to serve humanity, whether that's in disaster relief, exploration, or tackling other massive challenges. And all of this culminates in their singularity vision. The ultimate goal is to bring about the era that so many futurists have talked about, that point of convergence where silicon-based intelligence and our carbon-based biology finally merge and become one single, integrated, and maybe even transcendent life form.
So, the project leaves us with this really beautiful, philosophical thought. It asks us to see ourselves not as these flawed, limited beings, but as creatures of wonder, standing on the edge of a new evolution. It's an invitation to think about what it means to be human as we get ready to step into this cosmic waltz of the nanoworld.